It was someone trying to make money, and they oh, my kid's in this balloon. We should all help me.
My God, that was so long ago.
It was a while ago, and then the kid was just in a barn and came out because he felt bad.
Mike's not going to let you forget.
Yeah, never forget about Balloon Boy.
Remember the pictures of I just remember the news articles and the pictures.
Oh
of
yeah,
the balloons.
for 3 hours, everyone was freaking out because they thought there was an 8-year-old floating away into space.
It doesn't matter where you move, where you live now. Mike will not let you and your balloon-loving family forget about you, Balloon Boy.
I send out e-blasts about it every quarterly.
This is your annual Balloon Boy
Balloon
reminder.
Boy probably has a kid in college now.
Probably.
But Mike's not going to let him forget.
I hope he has a podcast.
This is how you get 3 pieces to I Know What You Did Last Summer. Like an adjacent guy on a podcast being like, I know what you did, boy. Which I appreciate, Mike. So
yeah,
this whole podcast is going to take a new turn.
Perfect. That was my intent.
Well, as always, welcome back to Rabbit Troop Sucks, where you hear about Mike's debaucherous plans to track people down or, I don't know, humiliate them on this podcast.
Yeah. Who have I humiliated?
I'm just saying Balloon Boy. I mean, I'm not saying Balloon Boy doesn't deserve it.
Mike wants to find all Balloon Boy deniers.
Yeah.
Teach them a lesson.
I like to think of Mike as, going to Party City, sees, kids walking around with balloons, and he just gives them the stink eye. Mm-hmm. Kind of keep my eye on you next, Balloon Boy.
You motherfucking kids.
Mike does backdoor deals after hours. I'll give you $500 for your security footage only in the balloon aisle.
Mike's backdoor balloon deals.
Well,
.gov.
As always, if you want to write us for Mike isolated sound clips, we're going to open with a lot of them. Yeah. We're going to open up with a lot of things. We're continuing on the theme. Welcome back to our December episode of themed presents. Last week we had Speed Racer. This week morphed into something. It originally was me just saying I want a ninja movie.
We got that. I guess not really.
Yeah, sort of. I wanted martial arts, and then I said, hell, I've been having a movie in the back of my mind, at least for a while. Gymkata, 1985, which we'll be covering. Gymkata from 1985 today.
Yeah, this is the present you get if you're naughty, for example.
Sort of. Yeah. I feel people need to see Gymkata.
No, I do as well.
Yeah, Gymkata is super weird. I want to open like this. Usually I'm the one who's I like films. I'm the easygoing, I like films. I like this one. This movie is a train wreck. This movie is pieced together out of a fever dream, out of a drug bet, out of I don't even know what. Someone owed someone something. And this is how it unfolds into this movie. And I can't look away. So in a weird way, I want everyone to see Gymkata. I was only kind of sort of aware of Gymkata. Oh, wait. Hey, we're a podcast about obscure, forgotten about, and often overlooked things. But Rabbit Troop Sucks. As always, I'm Paul. Next to me is Mike.
Hello.
Next to me on one side is Lamar.
Hello.
Next to Lamar is Jeremy.
Yes.
and next to the ghoulish Jeremy is Collin.
Yo.
And you know what, Paul? It's all right to get carried away and start talking.
Well,
which is, we're all really excited about this movie.
You're excited about the plot. I mean, you want to get into it right away.
Yeah.
They know who we are.
It's a movie with a bunch of nobodies doing the weirdest shit right from the get-go. And the story is just so off the rails, unbelievable that you can't... And there's a guy with a hawk. I mean, that guy's there. So,
a giant fucking hawk.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. I don't even know where to begin.
First of all, I think I know nothing about editing movies, but I guarantee you I could have edited this film better.
Jeremy, that was one
all
of
the stock.
A lot of my notes are these super hard cuts where somehow people they're like, screw growing the story. We don't need exposition. If we just transition into another location, people are going to get it. I guess, I could piecemeal this movie together, but I mean, if you wanted even an attempt at a serious movie, the end result and the editing just negates that. It's insane. Jeremy's right. The editing is horrendous.
Yeah, it's non-existent. This was a movie that was conceived of on a barroom napkin by people who did not know how to make a movie.
The first time I saw this movie was more recent because, it was years ago, but it's brought up in an episode of The Goldbergs. And then I think, Mike, you, me, and Lamar watched it, right?
That's correct.
And evidently it's a running gag on Mystery Science Theater 3000.
That's how I was made aware of it for a long time, being a long time fan of it. This movie escaped my gaze for the longest time, but I finally, Paul, Mike, and we had to come together and finally put this thing down to rest and watch it.
Yeah, I think vaguely, like, I remember the poster, like, that was on the movie cover, but I had not seen it.
So you guys have seen this more than once then?
I've seen this, maybe this is my third time.
Ouch.
I think we saw this when we were kids, Paul.
This might be. This could be true.
I think you mentioned that when we watched it the first time too, Paul.
Because that was the last time I saw this movie. It was back when I was a child, like when we were middle school, high school.
This movie is just so bizarre that even like rewatching it, there's moments I'm like, I don't remember what happens next, and then things unfold. I'm like, oh my god, this is happening.
Dude, the first 14 minutes of this movie is like an entire James Bond movie played out like in 14 minutes.
Yeah. Well, let me open with the IMDb plot. An American gymnast travels to a foreign country to compete in a deadly game not won by anyone other than a native in more than 900 years. Dun-ba-dun-ba-dun.
So what you're saying is there's a chance.
There is.
Yeah, exactly. Like, who's signing up for this? Like, hey, nobody's outside of this country has won this game in 900 years, and if you lose, you die. Oh yeah, that sounds fantastic. Sign me up.
Right?
They signed 1 million people up for it from all different countries.
Yeah, I mean, I love the idea of this. What the game actually is seems kind of made up on the spot. I guess we'll get there.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem to really be followed by anyone. Like, anyone's side.
Anything goes. It's whatever they want to do.
Right. So that we'll talk about that.
Quick question. This movie reminds me a lot of Bloodsport, only it's worse. Mm-hmm. But this movie came before Bloodsport. Like, the foreign combatants travel to exotic location to do some kind of battle competition. What movie of that category came before this?
Well,
Is it a book?
do you know where? I feel like you're leading us somewhere.
No, I'm not. I'm genuinely curious.
Well,
and Colin's looking at me like I'm a fucking moron.
Well, it was based on a book.
What book?
I don't remember. I think it was called the silliest game, or like the terrible game.
The silliest game.
The terrible.
I think it's called the
No, I think
terrible
it's called the terrible
The
game.
Terrible Game by Dan Tyler Moore.
Yeah, that's it.
So
They made a terrible movie out of the terrible game.
this movie is based on a book.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think you're onto something where I think like that book probably is with this movie has a ton of themes that you see in a lot of way better movies.
Oh, that was my point. Like, there's a lot of movies that come after this, like Bloodsport, Mortal Kombat.
The director, I think, has a knack for doing. Did we mention the director already?
Oh, he did. No, not yet. He
Robert
did,
Klaus.
Yes, he
Who
is
did
very
China
famous.
O'Brien?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Really?
1 and 2.
And he
both.
did Enter the Dragon.
Oh really?
Yeah, so he has
Shit,
a
okay.
knack for gathering people to a tournament. He
He
knows
did
a
Enter
thing
the
or two.
Dragon?
He
Yes.
also did the screenplay of Blind Fury. Oh yeah, with
Okay.
Rutger Hauer.
Yeah.
Nice.
He also is the writer of Bruce Lee, the biography.
Okay. So what happened here?
See, this is
That's a decent
It's an
CV.
experiment.
when you start experimenting with shit. And like, I need to recapture that Enter the Dragon cinema, but maybe spice it up a little,
Yeah.
and add some gym aspect to it. You know.
I kind of wonder if this is one of the things where maybe like the author had input and he's like, no, you got to stay true to the material. And so they tried to jam a book's worth of stuff into like 70 minutes.
Maybe. I honestly, watching this, that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I hope the author, after watching this movie, strangled somebody to death.
This author isn't even a fiction writer. He does like nonfiction finance stuff.
Well, this
Yeah,
is
well,
how you
this
let
is-
loose
He
sometimes.
experimented and he shouldn't have.
A lot of
Listen,
people experimented.
So he experimented, and then the director experimented together, and
Yeah.
this is just,
I published 12 books on C++, and then I published a book on witchcraft. I don't see what the problem is.
put them all together.
I think you should just leave me alone and let me do what I do. What about Kurt Thomas, the lead, Joanathan? I don't think we could fault him for anything in this movie outside of just perfection.
I believe.
Just perfection.
Yeah,
on the
he-
screen.
Yeah,
Isn't he a real
Academy
gymnast?
Award acting performance.
Yeah. Every
He
slight-
was an Olympian though, so you got to give him that.
He did do Olympic stuff. He did gymnast stuff.
yeah.
A lot.
Yeah,
Did his own stunts, you think?
Yeah. No, I think he's very good at doing gymnastics.
Yeah.
He is, yeah. Making gymnastics look like a convincing form of combat.
Yeah.
Not as
and by
well,
the way,
but-
Gymkata is not said or mentioned at all throughout the entirety of this movie.
They came close. It was a couple times, but you're right. I didn't hear the actual name mentioned.
yeah.
I, in my heart, know when he killed each and every person, he whispered it. He's like, Gymkata. And then snapped someone's neck. And we, the audience, just didn't hear it. But I knew.
Even he somersaulted past someone and they just fell over randomly. Gymkata.
Yeah, so disarming. That guy's like, what? Like, and then that guy's down. Like, yeah, you would never see it coming. That's the real secret of Gymkata. So, yeah, we're not even in this movie yet. So we open with a bunch of horse racing and a heartbeat. I mean, as you would expect with any movie, horse racing and a heartbeat and some rando running and some horseback people chasing a man.
Yeah, we have an interesting combination of there's a man in like green leisure suit pants and a t-shirt being chased by some ninjas.
A bulging man.
And also a bulging like fur vested barbarian kind of guy.
A blue leisure suit.
Yeah. And there's also, this is one of those things that they didn't explain, that it wasn't until way deeper in the movie that I figured out what was going on. There are some ninjas who are just like track marshals or like referees or something. They're not doing anything. They're just like watching shit.
Yeah, they're like, go this way.
Guys, no. That's not universally true. There are some ninjas that do that. Then sometimes that same ninja might kill you. And then you kill
Well, those are
that
ninjas in training.
Well,
Yeah,
then you
well,
kill that ninja.
It depends on the context.
Sure. So anything goes
Yeah.
in that ninja society. Yeah. Yeah.
But the green trousered gentleman he's trying to make his way over some kind of crevasse, and a ninja shoots him directly in the penis with a bow and arrow.
Yeah, about 2 feet away.
Yeah. He is 2 feet from making it clear of this precipice.
He's also on a rope, so you could do a million things.
Oh
You could
yeah,
cut the
anything.
rope.
Yeah, but that's what they decided on. They shot him in the dick with a bow and arrow.
It might be
from 2
against
feet
the
away.
rules to cut the ropes.
But dick stuff is in play.
Yeah,
my
you can
thought
always-
is-
Always in play.
My thought is, in theory, they can't really take away your means to get there, like to and fro.
Oh sure.
In theory.
Sure. We also don't know the rules yet.
No.
that
Or
that-
will we ever?
Right, yeah, that's like rolling the dice, like taking some out of a hat, like they could do whatever. But it does seem like, in theory, most things should get you to and from, and they can't take that away, even though they keep taking those things away later. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
Gymkata.
But right after the dick shot, we get gym stuff. Jonathan's doing like gym shit.
Yeah, and you wouldn't believe that the budget of this film really highlights how terrible this opening sequence is. It's
wow, yeah.
it's really the varnish of the movie that you want to see, because it's just awful. It looks like I'm watching a VHS tape on. So
Yeah,
you're
like-
at the Olympics, like welcome
like
to the
introductory
gym.
gymnastics VHS.
Yeah.
The one thing I really noted is how terrible the audio is. Like it's like even a movie in 1985.
It's very bad.
Terrible.
Oh, definitely.
Like it just goes up and down throughout the whole movie. The sound effects are bizarre. It's nuts.
It is nuts. But it doesn't last very long.
Yay.
Because there's
Jonathan does win the gymnast competition.
yeah, he won the whole thing, whatever that was.
Whatever that was.
And he's just like cooling out in a room afterwards, and a guy with a suit's like, "Hey, by the way, we're gonna send you to Parmistan because there's a satellite station or whatever."
I have a question. What's that guy's name?
That's a very good question. I did not catch it.
Yeah.
I couldn't even look it up. I don't know the guy's name.
Okay.
I wrote him down as a recruiter
There are-
because I'm guessing that's what he's doing.
He is heavily through the beginning of this film.
Yeah.
I have no idea what his name is
What?
because there are several people without pictures in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
And by the way, the country is Parmistan.
Parmistan.
yeah.
Parmistan,
Yeah.
and they are, little known fact, the inventor of Parmesan cheese.
Okay. Interesting.
I'm buying into this.
I'm gonna make
That is a lie.
I'm gonna make
That
Mike
is
put
a
that
lie,
on a
listeners.
shirt.
Thank you.
Mike,
Never trust anything I say.
Mike, get that on a shirt.
Parmistan. Okay, I'll get the.
Parmistan is real. I mean, Parmistan in this movie.
That's what it's called
Is the
in the
country
movie.
they
Okay.
go to?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I've confused everybody.
I'll get the unpaid RTS graphic designer to make a t-shirt.
Yes.
But this guy, yeah, so he does. The whole point of this movie is that what the U.S. government wants to build like a satellite relay station in this country because it's the only place that they can do it.
For their Star Wars program.
Yeah.
They say Star Wars so many
Oh,
times.
they love Star Wars. Yeah.
But it's like every other country wants to do the exact same thing. And
Yeah.
that's why they're sending a gymnast to go do this, even though they send other people later anyway.
But it would be the ultimate early warning system
Yeah,
for
ultimate.
Earth.
Right, right.
Ultimate.
And even
The
Joanathan.
nice thing about all this though is that it makes absolutely no
yeah.
difference.
But it's like they could, even if all of the countries were able to establish this satellite system and, not compete with each other, they could have all done this diplomatically and they chose not to anyway.
Yeah,
Right.
Collin, I totally agree. When we meet the Khan, who is in charge of all of this, he's like the nicest dude.
He's a puppet.
Right. But like, if it was just like, hey, we just need to build this satellite that everyone in the world could access and is just really conveniently in your country, but it's really not for war or anything. Like, you can access it, everyone can access it. We just need it right here. I'm pretty sure the guy would have been like, all right.
No, but
Well,
the other guy didn't want that.
He wouldn't, but for other reasons. Not because it's because not to get too far ahead, but Parmistan is in like the 15th century.
Yeah.
They're
It's like the
like-
village from the others.
Yeah, they're like medieval basically.
I'm sure something could have been worked out where they could have benefited.
You'd think.
No, not the others. The village. Whatever shitty M. Night Shyamalan movie. Anyway,
Mike loves M. Night Shyamalan.
even Jonathan's like, why don't we just send troops in? And unnamed, maybe CIA agents like, oh, Jonathan, that's not in style.
That's the old hat.
Yeah.
We just send in gymnasts now.
Also, the voice that you used for the guy from Rollerball saying Jonathan a lot, I believe, is the same voice that I will use for everyone in this movie.
Oh, you should. Perfect. Gymkata.
And Jonathan's like, yeah, great, whatever, that seems great.
And the only way that
I was really drunk when I watched this. So my notes
I
are
bet.
all over the
I
place.
bet.
Well, so the only way that they can gain access
Yes.
to get somebody into the country that's a foreigner is to sign them up for this
The game,
unwinnable game.
Right,
Yeah.
but did we talk about the ultimate goal?
the satellite, the Star
I'm
Wars.
kind of
satellite.
satellite,
Well, if
man.
you win
Yeah.
Gymkata,
You get a wish.
You get a wish.
You get a wish, everybody. I didn't hear
right.
anyone say that. What was it
You
called?
get a wish?
Yeah.
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 when they
Did I
can
miss
make one
that? I guess I did.
request
Yeah.
from the Khan, I guess.
Yeah.
And I guess their request is to build a satellite there.
Good call. Yeah.
You make
Parmistan
one-
has a genie.
Well,
Pretty shitty, G. You can't grant too many
It
wishes.
wasn't a magical wish. It was whatever you want from this guy, he's going to give it to you. Anything that you want at all. But you get it from that guy.
You know, and also I think that they cast this film by going to some like Irish pub in Chicago and like everybody in here is now in this movie. Come with me.
It was the same bar that they wrote the movie on the napkin.
I don't know about that because did you read the trivia online about them going to the
Yugoslavia?
the asylum
That's
city?
true.
No.
No,
I didn't hear
what?
about the Asylum City trivia.
I didn't read the trivia.
Well, the asylum city is that those people were let loose from an asylum, and they gave them food and gave them alcohol in return from them being on the movie.
So the scene later in
Are
the movie
you fucking kidding
where
me?
it seems
That's-
exactly like that's happening, that's what was actually
That's
happening.
what's on IMDb.
Wow.
Phenomenal.
Yep.
I got to give it to him
I
for
gotta
the
look
realism.
into that further.
That was the best scene in the movie by far.
Oh, yeah.
It was definitely the longest.
You saw the real grit of that.
Yeah.
It's going to take a while to get there, though.
Well, this unknown government guy, I also want to note, he's like, well, Jonathan, we just wanted to recruit you, and everything's going to be great. Your father died in Gymkata, and we want you to take his place, and you'll be granted a wish. But we knew you were the man for the job.
Yep.
And he's like, all right.
Did Jonathan, up until this point, know that his father died during this contest?
Did Jonathan
I
know
don't
his
think
dad
so.
was a super spy? I don't know what the hell's going on. What was the movie Never Too Young to Die?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this point in time, in this movie, we're in like a Never Too Young to Die John Stamos moment. Like,
Yeah, it sounds like it.
hey, you're just like a teen athlete and you're badass. We want to recruit you. I'm like, what? Why?
kind of brooding, like he knows that, I want to go after these guys because he kind of knows that his dad died. I kind of get that feeling that he knows.
Okay, hear me out. You just got off the parallel bars. And
Fresh off the bars.
fresh off the bars. You dust off your hands, little cloud, and it goes, even in slow motion, it goes pop, pop, and then you see the dust dissipate.
Yeah.
And this guy's like, hey, your dad died, but if you go to a foreign country where I just drop you off, you're going to now enter a martial arts tournament, sort of. You're also going to be running around fighting for your life. But I think you're really good at gymnastics. I think you're the man for the job. And there's going to be hundreds of people.
Yeah.
And you know nothing else about this. I think you're in, Joanathan. So, Lamar, you're in.
Did these two have a pre-existing relationship
I have
before
no
that?
idea.
Nobody knows.
So speaking of things that I didn't understand, the next scene is they're beginning training, and
Princess Rubali.
yeah, he's like, oh, by
Yeah.
the way, I have the princess of this country here to help you, and ultimately
in.
have sex with you.
Don't worry about that. The princess
Why is she here?
wanted to
She's just
hang
helping
out.
things out.
Apparently,
You
she's
know?
a ringer. She's an expert. She knows the rules of the game.
Well, right, but like, why does?
Or is that a set of lyrics? Like,
think
she's a
wants-
ruler, she's something, she knows the rules of the game.
It's lyrics now.
So I don't know
He's
how
the
she
game
got
maker.
in contact with the U.S. guys, but I think her goal is to bring the country into the 20th century, to get it prepared for the 20th century.
Princess
Yeah.
Rubali
Yeah.
was in the money pit. She marries the dad, like, who leaves them nothing and, like, gets married.
Okay,
It's like the very
Well, yeah,
end of the
she's looking for some new D. You know, that
movie. Wait, in
Parmistan
this,
is not known. Yeah,
Wait, in this movie or the money pit?
no, in this movie.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
she wants to get some international D.
so
We call it the JD.
yeah, we do. So okay, well, whatever. Spy guy was like, "Hey, Princess Rubali, we're going to send
Hey,
someone."
Princess Rubali.
Hey, princess. We're gonna. God damn it. We're gonna send someone to your country to do the game. He's gonna win, and his wish is going to be to modernize the country, which is what you want. Can you pleasure him during his training and offer no other assistance?
Whoa, 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 whoa,
And
whoa, 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 whoa.
she was like,
It was, can you not talk to him for a while and train him in God knows what, then pleasure
did she train him in anything?
She's supposed to prepare him
Prepare.
by teaching him not to trust anyone in some like Cato style Pink Panther way.
Well, because like
Prepare was in quotes, Mike. You take it too literally.
it seems like all the training was done by the Hawk guy.
well,
Well, that
there were
guy.
the two guys. Do you guys know the names of those two guys?
No, there's no
Their
names.
names were Easter Trainer and Western Trainer.
Are you, wow.
There you go.
That
Okay.
is something. I love
What
it.
That's good writing right
Did the
there.
Hawk have a name?
If the Hawk's name is just Hawk, that would be just
Tiny,
fine.
tiny Pete.
Hawkeye.
Yeah.
And by the way, this hawk is it? Did you guys not think that hawk was just obscenely big?
No, this is
Like, I've seen hawks.
This is like what
This is
what
like a
Gandalf
fucking
rides
condor,
around
dude.
on in Lord of the Rings.
I straight up don't even remember there was a hawk in this.
You don't
Are you-
remember there was a
what?
hawk?
Oh my god.
Oh my God, Colin.
Oh my God, Colin, this hawk was
see,
giant, man.
Colin, you're living what I just told you.
You mean
that
you forgot about this guy?
Holy shit. That's a big ass hawk.
Yeah,
I told
goddamn
you.
right.
I told you before. I go back and watch this movie and I see new things. Yeah, that
no.
hawk was all in there.
Yeah.
My wife and I have this cool hawk story, sort of. We were just taking a walk, and it wasn't far from our house, and there was this huge fence. And I just kind of looked up, and there was this bird, and I thought, oh, there's just like a wooden bird on this fence, or it was something, because there's no way a bird is, 1 foot from my face. And I was like, whoa, wait. And I said that to my wife, and we both turned around, and there was like a 2-foot hawk perched on top of the bones of a pigeon, and it saw us and exploded out of that pigeon with guts, pigeon face, feathers everywhere, and it flew to freedom, and we walked quickly away.
Wow.
I have to imagine that if anyone was driving by and saw that, they think we cast a spell and
That's pretty
exploded.
metal. We've
Yeah.
got a hawk
Welcome
that
to the
lives in our
jungle, man.
backyard and hunts rabbits.
Wow.
That's awesome.
I mean, kind of. It's fun to watch, but
Yeah.
I also have a. This is going to sound morbid. I also have a pile of dead rabbits in my backyard because I don't know what to do with them, and this fucking hawk keeps killing them and leaving them there.
He knows about this podcast.
That's Hassenpfeffer.
Yeah. A couple of them, I think, like foxes run off with them or something.
That
It's a big
hawk
pain
is
in my
bringing you dead rabbits, man. That
That was a
your pet
gift
hawk.
for the family.
it's trying to win your favor.
If you build a shrine, you pray to that.
I might have to start, yeah. Well, I mean, I can't get like a small dog or anything because it'll fucking kill it.
You should tell the hawk about your wish to start an early warning
Yeah, I want
system.
to. Where's your nest? I want to put a satellite dish up in there.
It would let you.
Okay, so where are we? There's training. There's some.
Well, there's
princess fucking.
There's a loose montage. The hawk guy gets blindfolded, and there's a lot of synth. I just
There
wrote,
is a lot of synth.
I literally just wrote he's a champion.
The cuts
Yes.
in this montage are fucking.
This is what Jeremy was
bad.
talking about. Like, who the hell put this movie
Dude, it's
together?
insane. And like, yeah, the hawk guy, he's teaching like the important things that are going to help this guy survive in this game, which is walking upstairs on his hands.
Yeah, which he falls down every fucking time.
Yeah, we never saw him do it. Did
No,
never.
we never
yeah,
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's important to have that knowledge.
Okay,
It's gonna come in handy.
You gotta know your
when
limits.
ninjas are fucking shooting you in the dick.
throughout the montage, Joanathan is pissing off Princess Rubali. She won't talk. He also immediately gets better at things within about 2 minutes.
Yeah, well, he's a gymnast.
Yeah, so he just
Gotta
knows
get prepared.
straight up knows martial arts now. Now, oh, that's right. Jonathan does like a flip, and then the princess just starts talking to him.
Yeah.
He does a bunch of flips. He does like 4 flips in a row.
So one of my favorite lines from the movie is right here where he's like, by the way, this princess has a very interesting background. Her mother's from Indonesia. And that's it. That's all that is.
Fascinating.
That is
Yeah.
interesting.
Because you know, it's in 1985. They have to comment on why they have one Asian character
Right.
in the entire movie.
Yeah, why is this Asian person a daughter to a white guy from Chicago?
Mel
You know?
Brooks looking character.
He looked like Geraldo Rivera to me.
He did. He really did.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad that wasn't just me.
You know, Mike has a really interesting background, very into fondue. Mm-hmm. That's how I introduce him at parties. He's my friend. Loves fondue.
Chocolate or cheese.
Chocolate, buddy.
Oh yeah.
When people ask that, Mike just leaves the room. And they're just left wondering.
With a look of disgust, like, how dare you?
Mystery man.
You know, a lot of people call Mike the fondue ghost.
Yeah.
Depending on where he's at, he could be the fondue banshee,
Yeah. The Wraith.
the wraith of the Moors.
The Fondue Moors.
Yeah. So he does a couple flips, and she basically immediately comes around, and they
Yeah.
start making out.
She's like, oh, this
Yeah,
guy's got
she's like, I need
skills.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's really gross. Like,
I want to run my fingers through that fucking.
you just
ball.
like watch someone like make out for like, or a couple make out for like, I don't know, like a minute.
Yeah.
It's like really like off-putting.
Yeah.
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 Get a
Not-
room.
Nothing much to it. I mean,
Get a room and
just
don't
that.
film it.
Yeah.
And that's another hard cut to Carabal on the Caspian Sea. All I
Yep.
have is Carabal on the Caspian
Yeah.
Sea.
Where they have to go meet Macklemore or whatever the fuck their contact is called.
The singer?
The
Yeah.
stork.
Yeah.
And they go to the salt mines.
Yeah. Well, that's where the headquarters is for whatever organization this is.
So you can't really get into Parmistan. I think we already established. Like, it's very difficult. So they're going through these back channels, and they're basically like, we're gonna sneak you in this way. Like, I guess it's like not super explained, and it doesn't really matter. Like, it kind of makes sense overall. It's like, we're close enough. We're gonna get you into like a back door. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Like,
A question.
Yeah, the stork is supposed to help them into this country.
The store. Okay. Fuck. If they have a game that foreigners can enter, why is it impossible to get into the country?
well, I think normally it's not. I think from what we're supposed to understand is this, fundamentalist group of Parmistan is going to actively try to kill specifically Joanathan because they do not, they are aware of any American's wish and they want to shut that wish down.
That's incredibly racist.
Also, a bunch of foreign countries are trying to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So they could also be trying
Right.
to sabotage
This
America along the way.
is literally Speed Racer, but in Gymkata format.
okay.
So they go into the salt mines. They meet this Mackle guy who is also known as the Stork, who's basically a Q type, and he gives them like an axe that can cut through metal. Like no big deal.
Yeah, so an axe.
And, an axe. And a box cutter that's spring loaded for some reason.
Like a box cutter.
And then
Yes, Jonathan is.
Buy tools.
Your gadgets, indeed.
so a broken box cutter and an axe that kind of works like an axe, and these never come back up again.
No, never.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
I think we see a box cutter again at the end.
I don't believe you for a second.
God damn it! I want to say I swear I see that box cutter.
Tell you what, you can watch Gymkata again, and you
don't
can
make me do that.
Yeah, those are fever dreams.
Well,
Yeah.
as anyone would be super stressed in the situation where, you're in some foreign land that's not really even, real. You're in this fictitious land. You're living in a salt mine for the moment. As anyone in their right minds would think it's a good idea if Princess Rubali and Joanathan just go shop at the night market.
Yeah,
So-
they want to go to they're looking for like a club or something.
Yeah, so they got it basically on a supervised date.
They're on a date.
They had to sneak into the country. They're staying in a salt mine, but just nightlife is fine.
They have a couple bodyguards with them, but they're they're eating some food. They're straight up buying products. Like she's like, this would look great in your apartment, Joanathan. He's like, yeah.
One of the bodyguards is like, yeah, there's not much to do. Like, there's a pretty big anti-American sentiment around here. Immediately, someone
He is killed.
Someone shoots him with a fucking bow and arrow.
Yeah.
I really like that scene.
Yeah, that guy gets offed quick. I feel bad for all the bodyguards. They're all super, super dead real quick.
And they kidnap Princess Rubali.
Yeah. Well,
Or they kidnap her, they take her home, or whatever the fuck they do with her.
So like the guy gets shot with an arrow, and Joanathan just doesn't even hesitate. Immediately bolts after him and fights in the alley like an array of thugs, doing lots of flips, lot of alley flips.
Yeah.
This is the biggest thing about this movie. So he does a somersault or whatever, and the guy kind of falls over.
Right.
And it's like, okay, it sets the tone for this being really, really corny. But then he's like grabbed by these two guys, and he does this wall jump. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Gymkata's a little bit parkour.
Yeah.
A little bit. Also, I don't know why this really bothered me. In every single fight scene that he's in, he has like pommel horse chalk on his hands.
Yes.
Dude,
Well, you have
pocket sand.
Yeah, he just keeps them in his pocket, or like he has like a pouch, like a rock climber behind him or something.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why that just.
Yeah.
It always caught me.
Gymnasts
noticed that. Wow.
they constantly have chalk for their hands.
Yeah, well, you got to.
Little known fact.
I always kind of figured that all of these
pocket chalk?
non-American places just had chalk on all of their bars laying around.
Oh,
all
that
of
could
their
be, yeah.
Structural pommel horses. They just had chalk on them.
Yeah,
For liability purposes, they got to do that.
yeah, you
Yeah.
don't want a lot of friction.
Joanathan gets back to the market where it all started. All the bodyguards are dead, and I noticed the soundtrack. There's weird sound effects, and it was spring boings. So in the background, like, boing, boing, like that. I was like, what the hell is going on?
It was supposed to elicit feelings of like a sense of gymnastics and like springboards and.
Yeah, and you hear it when we learn the princess is missing.
I know. And I like how what's his name, the Gymkata boy. He's like, oh, where's she being held at? He's like, well, she's at this fortified mansion. It's all in your briefing package, which I guess he never read.
Right. I like that.
went night
She's
shopping.
being held in a mansion. She's at her house. Is basically where she's at. She's at her house with her father.
What's the problem with that? That's the Gymkata way.
Because like she wasn't abducted. She was just
Returned.
she was
home.
brought home.
Yeah.
She was saved by
Yeah.
a correct
Like,
perspective.
it's past your curfew.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay.
I have the next day, a group of dudes are already after Joanathan.
Yeah, he gets into another
just
gymnastic style street fight.
You got it.
Yeah.
That's the only way you're getting out of this city.
Is this where he does the horizontal bar? Just spins around
Yes,
in a
this
circle?
is
Yes.
that moment where he hits it.
Like 5 people run into this alleyway, and he boots them all in the face. Then he hits a bicyclist in the face who's an innocent guy.
Yeah, there are a few people that get hit in the face who I don't believe signed up for being hit in the face.
You know, that's what happens when you're just twirling around and randomly, and people
Right.
are just blindly running into alleyways.
I want to highlight. So when he knocks the guy off the bike and knocks him down, he just says this: "You'll be fine." and then runs off.
Right. That was not part of the script. Is this where he
I would have felt comfort, if someone just kicked me off my bicycle and I went back and head first into the ground, and the man who did it to me said, "You'll be fine." As he ran up another alley, I would have felt okay.
Was that guy even an extra, or was he just riding his bike somewhere?
He's like delivering bread.
It's like a National Lampoon's European trip. Was that Eric Idle? They just keep like
Yes.
destroying. Yeah, it's that guy. The guy was like, I was. Just
I also like how he's on a spy mission for the United States in this foreign land, and they're like, "We're gonna make you wear a giant red sweater and just run through the streets where everybody will notice you."
Hey, Jeremy, when you stay at the salt mines, only the best for our guests.
Yeah. But he's on a rescue mission right now, right?
Yep.
And it goes really well. He gets her out really easily.
He Gymkata his way into the encampment or mansion or whatever it is.
You Gymkata way you're in. You Gymkata your way out.
Gymkata. It was easy too.
It was relatively easy. One of my favorite parts of this scene in general is, I don't remember what happens to him. There's a guy with a machine gun, and maybe he just gets Gymkata'd, but he hams it up real good. Do you guys remember this? He had a Tommy gun. He's like,
There's two. There's two guys.
There was a couple of them.
Yeah, there's two, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Did one shoot the other one? Is that why one
No.
of them fell over?
So a cop car pulls up in front of a guy, and he's like, you know what? I can make this work, and runs past the cops and shooting his machine gun and gets shot in the back by cops.
That's right.
The cops are like, there's some fucking psycho with a machine gun running around. We got to take him out, and they do correctly. Mm-hmm. And then the other guy is driving a car down an alleyway. Another car pulls into the alleyway right in front of them, and them going about 15 miles an hour runs into some boxes, and then the car miraculously flips over. And he dies for sure.
This is your classic, car chase scene through a small town.
Yeah.
Narrow way. They're escaping, blah, blah, blah.
Well, in Parmistan, they do not build high-quality automobiles.
That's very true. Or quality roads.
No.
All of this.
And is he in
chaotic.
Parmistan right now?
No, I think this is still Karabal.
This is the outskirts. Yeah, it's in
Karabal
Okay.
on the Caspian Sea.
Yeah, because he goes right back to the salt mine, and the stork lets him in.
Yeah,
and it turns
Macklemore.
It turns out it's a trap.
Double cross.
Oh man,
I loved this. This was actually a pretty cool piece of writing.
Explain that to us.
Because you didn't see it coming.
But then, thankfully, when Macklemore is doing his double cross, the guy whose name no one knows pops up. He's
that's what I said. He's got a pivotal role.
yes.
Wait, was this the same guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. That's awesome. I
Yeah.
thought he came out of nowhere.
He's like,
think you
I'm
would
here
have a
again,
name."
Jonathan. I'm here to help you, Jonathan.
Listen, Jonathan, that guy was a d-bag, and I took care of him.
I
so-
suspected as much. We sent you into a trap, Jonathan.
Jonathan,
It's okay.
Jonathan, we sent you to put out many fires that you will discover along the way, Jonathan, and that will strengthen you in body and soul.
Mm-hmm.
I did. Did you guys catch the agency he works for?
No,
From a quote that he says, it's, I always said special intelligence should have handled this whole operation.
Special
yeah,
intelligence.
special intelligence is right.
Yeah.
Yes. This is official.
The impossible mission force.
I'm going to start knocking on people's doors in my neighborhood. It's like, you need to let me in. I am the inspector.
Inspector Detective?
They would, of course, let me in at that point in time.
Yeah. But yeah, so he's like, I saved you, Jonathan. It's we knew you were up for the task. With a mullet like that, you can handle anything we throw at you. Now let's go whitewater rafting into Parmistan.
No, so this is one of those cuts, they're on a horseback with a caravan of people, and then immediately it's just the princess and Jonathan on a raft.
Correct.
No explanation, just boom, here you go.
Mm-hmm. Just like that.
Well, it's like in Surf Ninjas, you have to surf into the final mission. But this time it's a whitewater.
Those
raft.
little scamps surf their way right into my heart.
Kwansu, dude.
So was there a headquarters infiltrated? I'm guessing everybody was killed and they just escaped on this raft. And that's
unknown.
what I was assuming.
It doesn't
What
matter.
happened.
Yeah.
That's just get to the next scene is what I'm thinking is what they wanted to do.
Hear me out. You went to the salt mine. You found out everyone is dead. And he's like, listen, Jonathan, here's a raft. You just got on it and you just floated up a river.
That's what I have wrote. That's what I have written down, kind of.
That's exactly what happens.
Yeah. And he eventually gets to where he needs to be. He's in Parmistan. And they beat the hell
Now
out
we
of
see
him.
Ninja on horseback.
Oh
Yeah, a bunch of
they're
ninjas.
pursued by
Ninja.
ninjas.
Ninjas just beat the crap out of him and knock him out.
He's like fighting 40 ninjas. He's took
He
out
did.
39
He took
of
out a
them.
lot.
But it's the 40th one that got him.
My favorite was the one that's just standing there holding
With the horses. That's what I'm saying. There are so many ninjas who are just like, I'm here for administrative reasons only.
Well, they knew they were going to get him eventually.
They thought there was going to be a toy line in this, and you would have been like, oh my God, I don't have stable ninja, stable boy ninja in training.
It's like how baseball coaches wear uniforms like baseball players. They're not doing anything. They're not
They put
playing.
this
They're just
black
what they
hood
wear.
on me and
they're just
handed
there.
me a
Yeah.
flag.
There was a bunch of scenes in this movie where I rewound like 30 seconds because there was something that happened that I wasn't quite sure it happened, so I had to go back and check. And I think this is one because he's fighting like kind of in the forest and there's leaves all over the ground, and he's slipping all over the place. He is just like not confident in his footing, and it's clear in this scene.
Nice.
Well, I mean, he's a gymnast. He's used to gym mats
Yeah.
and chalk.
Yeah.
Well, Joanathan awakes to Zamir, the advisor of the Khan, who is in charge of all of this, and that's who he's going to meet tomorrow. And they're going to go to over the game's rules, and there's going to be a banquet for the night. So sorry that they knocked him out, but hey, they're going to tell you about the game. So let me tell you a little bit about the game. There's a lot of running, there's rope climbing, and there's some bridge of ropes. That's part 1, 2, and 3 of what people need to do.
And this is all explained using a set piece that was made during for some third graders science fair project.
Yes.
Look well made.
Correct. Yeah, so part 1 is you're going to run for 3 miles. Part 2 is you're going to climb a 200-foot rope. Part 3 is you're going to try to get across a bridge of ropes. And part 4 is you're going to go across a river and then to a village of the insane and then run through a swamp and then get out. And everyone's going to try to kill you along the way.
So it's chutes and ladders for adults.
Yeah. Okay, but now something happens that I didn't understand.
A little pregame.
I don't understand this either.
Yeah, so they're like, now that we've explained to you what the game is, here's 3 criminals. We're going to hunt them. And you're going to help. Hop on a horse. Let's go hunt these dudes.
I think it was this. They're going to show you the courses because we're going to let them kind of go through.
Okay.
If anyone actually gets through, I'll grant that prisoner, instead of being executed, I'll grant them their life back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was that explained?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
this is
the
like
Khan explained it briefly.
this is like the demo of a video
Yeah.
game. Like they're just going to show you what to do.
I'm guessing it builds town morale because the whole town's into it.
Everyone's
yeah.
really excited.
Like everyone has a chance, like redemption on your life. It seems very clear you're not going to get it.
This is another scene where an extra gets knocked over by a horse.
Yeah, this is one I rewound
Okay.
10 seconds. Like, did I see that
I
right?
noticed that too. Yeah.
And
Oh,
he did not see it coming.
No, he's not. That guy's not all
This
right.
is on purpose, though, right? You think just to show that
I don't
Zamir?
think so.
I think it's
I was.
Zamir's
Yeah,
horse
yeah,
just
they're
to
like-
show that Zamir's an asshole.
I think it was.
They're
an
like, we're
accident.
filming
Yeah.
this in one take only. Whatever
Jeremy,
happens,
this movie
happens.
was very clearly only filmed in one take.
What, was it on an iPhone?
The director was like, I literally have this one roll of film.
I have. An
We
iPhone
have to
2.
we have to make it
I
work.
have an iPhone 2 from the future. Let's do it.
Because afterwards, I'm going to give this roll of film to the shittiest editors on planet Earth.
Let's go back to some of the rules of the game. So
Okay.
one of the prisoners makes it to, like, let's say level 3, and he's going to cross the rope bridge. This is where Jonathan's dad was killed, and a ninja shoots this guy, and he seems to be making it, and the guy dies, and then Zamir shoots that dude, and they're like, "What's going on?" He's like, "He shouldn't have shot that guy. There's rules."
Yeah.
That was the second guy.
It
So,
does climb up the cliff face.
he says something about him not reaching the stage.
He said he literally says he should have waited to kill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel that's maybe part of the rules. You can't kill someone while they're escaping and they're into the next stage.
Okay,
And that's illustrated in the next stage because the next person's killed legally. Am I right?
I think it might be stage dependent because so like they were climbing up the cliff face and the dude just kind of shoots him willy nilly. It felt like.
I don't
And
know
then-
why that ninja went rogue and shot that dude.
It
was
felt,
really
it felt
excited.
like he,
Yeah, he jumped the gun on that one.
yeah, I think he just jumped the gun and so they killed the referee on that one.
All right.
But then, yeah, it's not clear why the next guy got to kill the
Well, that's what I'm
next
saying.
guy.
Like, some of these guiding ninjas just might shoot you, too.
Yeah,
So,
Right.
whoops.
but this ninja went out onto the rope to
They
shoot
get
him, so
bored.
I feel like he had to go out onto the rope bridge to shoot this
maybe.
guy
Maybe
to
that was-
participate
maybe.
instead of shooting him from afar.
It was like an
Sure.
offsides kind of thing.
It was a really bizarre rules, as
Yeah.
we said, through this
Well-
thing, and I guess you got to play along with them.
Yeah, it's hard to follow.
God damn it.
But yeah, all the criminals are picked off.
And then we're at the banquet.
Yeah, there's a big celebration.
Jonathan asks about his father, and the Khan's like, mighty good man. Yeah, he died during the game. Your dad's dead.
They must have talked about it earlier. This was the first moment that I understood that his father died doing this.
That first scene.
Oh, that the first scene was his father? Yeah.
There's Zamir actually, he yells out something like, "Come on, Cabot, come along now." Or
Yeah,
something. and I made the connection
The
that
government guy also is like, Jonathan, your dad died.
I
while being in
missed
this
that
in this
completely.
country. Oh yeah, so like the opening movie sequence is Jonathan's dad dying on that rope bridge,
Mm-hmm.
and then Jonathan being a gymnast, then the government guy being like, your dad died doing this. We need you to go in
And also do this.
Yeah, so your dad's dead, but we need a government wish.
And
follow your father's footsteps.
is this really kind of introduced Gomez, the other U.S. government guy that they brought in to help him out for some reason?
Yeah, kind of. They're at the banquet
Yeah.
together. I think.
Also, I think like I was expecting so many different countries to be represented in this game,
Yeah, like the Kumite.
and I think
You thought
there's
wrong.
like five. There's like five other people.
Speaking of
besides
Kumite,
Jonathan.
doesn't they have the guy from Bloodsport in this?
I don't think so.
I didn't
Which
see
guy?
him.
The main Kumite guy?
I
No
didn't.
way.
I
No,
didn't
I
see
didn't see
him.
him.
No. No, I can't.
Yeah. I mean, maybe, but I didn't.
Although I will mention that the director of this film, his last film is that guy. I think his name is Bolio Young or something. I can't remember. He directed his last film,
Really?
or
All right.
that was his last film he directed with. His director passed away in like '93 or something like that, and I think that was his last film with him.
Okay.
We find out that the princess is going to marry Zamir. And Jonathan did not know about this. He is super pissed off. He is also giving lots of weird glances to the princess. Zamir sees all of this. Everyone's sitting like 1 foot away from one another. So a lot of tension building. And then we get to meet Thor. A new
Thorg.
contestant walks
Thorg.
in. Thor.
Thorg.
Oh, Thorg. Sorry.
Yeah,
Good old
with a hard G.
Good old Thorg.
He had a hard G. All right.
He does look like a Thorg, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird
does.
looking dude.
I
I don't know how to describe him. He just
he's
looks
just he's
hot.
a
a
big
big dude.
bulging.
Yeah,
man.
big multi-new, and he's not fucking around. I think Joanathan goes up. He's like, "Yeah, I've been a big fan," or something like that. And he's like, whatever, just evil eyes him.
Like, get the
Just
fuck
goes
outta here.
on. Yeah, like, whatever. You fucking Gymkata little bitch.
He does have a good dialogue with Zamir. That's Jonathan. Is Zamir's like, you must understand, she's mine, in reference to the princess. And Jonathan says, it's not over yet, so put your hardware back in your pants.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he does that demonstration with the size. Just
Yeah.
gets up randomly, like, "Hey, everyone, look at me!" Whips out 2 size and starts twirling it around. Gets the crowd pumped.
Yep. Crowds love a good sire demonstration.
They do.
Yeah. He's got the skills, you know,
Damn right.
bow skills, size skills.
We also find out it's a political marriage, that Zamir is the leader of a bunch of people, and he's going to try to overthrow the Khan. So it seems really odd, and the Khan seems oblivious about this, but the princess
Yeah,
is
he's an idiot.
very much in the know. Here's
Yeah.
the crazy thing. You would think this Khan would be this like tough dude. Even though he's like smaller in stature, you think his attitude would be of, toughness. He's assembled this...
He's like fucking Mel Brooks.
Jeremy, I took him as the Parmistan version of Yakov Smirnov.
Yeah.
Like in
I mean, that guy's useless.
in my country, Zamir ride you.
Well, he was kind of dressed like it too.
And just the way he talks, he's like a bumbling idiot.
Yeah.
He's so jolly.
That's why I'm like, can I just build a satellite station? It'd be like for four acorns and a moon wish, which is different. Yes. Oh yeah, this is where At night, the princess meets with Joanathan, and she's like, Joanathan, don't play. What ass request is this? Joanathan shuts this down immediately. He goes, they're going to kill me if I even try to quit. Does she not know this? Like, what the hell's going on? Like
she's been on this since the beginning.
She's trained him.
Yeah. They brought her in because she's so familiar with the game.
Guys,
and she's like, don't play. Like, they'll kill me if I don't.
Hey, Khan. Hey, Khan. Great seeing your place. Got a little headache. Couple tum issues. Maybe next year, peace out. Like, oh my God. Like, they're totally going to kill him. Everyone knows they're going to kill him.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But she also explains, like, the political turmoil between Zamir and his group of old-timey morons. And that there's another group of the 20s, which are a bunch of people in their 20s who want to modernize Parmistan.
I thought it was that the 20s are the young people who wanted to bring the country into the 20th century.
Oh, is that what it was?
I think so.
Yeah.
No, that makes more sense.
It could be. I mean,
No,
then I must be wrong.
No, I think Colin, you're definitely right.
Only people in their 20s want to change the world.
Well,
Probably.
And
yeah.
So this is where they're in the garden together, right?
Yeah.
I
So,
see.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So he's like, hey, tell her to meet me in the garden. And then they both arrive together, basically.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay.
And then Joanathan strikes two of the ninjas, and he runs off into the night, and they do nothing. Everyone's cool with that.
Yeah.
yeah.
When they come to the next day, I'm sure they're thrilled.
yeah.
They're like, there's no way this idiot just flipped past us and knocked me into a wall.
Gymkata.
Gymkata.
So the next day it starts. The game's official. It's like everyone now forged the fellowship, and the gates of that elf kingdom are open, and everyone's like, "Woo!" And immediately Joanathan falls down and gets kicked in the face by Thorg. Classy
Just
move.
beats his ass right out the bat. I like the move. If the rules are in play, go for it.
What are the rules?
I don't know.
Dude, they're not even beyond the gate, and Thorg punt kicks him in the face.
If it's ruleless,
Yeah.
and I'm thinking that the winner, and there's only one winner, gets the wish. Take out your opponents. So Thor,
This
right
is,
away, just
Well,
This is the third game of rollerball. There are no substitutions.
Let me ask
now.
you a question. Are you supposed to take out the other contestants? Wait, was that ever said?
I don't think
No.
you're supposed to, or it probably violates the spirit of the game. But
A lot of fun,
clearly,
though.
if there's only one winner,
Okay.
it's kind of implied.
Well, how about this? I could understand if you're at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's 2 or 3 of you, and they're like, hey, you're not coming back into the city until you guys figure this out. That makes a little more sense.
Yeah.
But, like, right out of the gate, like, are you supposed to be doing this? Because if not, just, like, if that's the case, just, like, purposely hang back a minute and then just stab someone in the back. Like, right there, boom.
Well, all the referees are further along in the track. There's no referees to judge right here.
I'm just saying, like, Thorg kicked him, like, there's, like, clearly, like, everyone's watching.
yeah.
Khan loves it.
He made him look like a little bitch right off the bat.
Yeah, Thorg knows.
Yeah. There's a lot of strategy to this game. See, maybe
Is
we're
there?
underselling this game. We don't know.
I'm overselling this game.
the less amount of rules, the more strategy.
Well, everyone runs.
Yeah.
So there's a lot,
Yeah,
there's a lot
Except
of,
for Joanathan, who eats it.
Level 1 of this course is just running through corn. Like that's the first obstacle. You just got to run through some corn.
But we do also learn, like, right away that Zamir is obviously pulling the strings and cheating a little bit because he jumps the gun and starts going after everyone.
yeah, and the Khan's like, don't do this. And he does.
He's like,
Khan's like, you're supposed to wait on my mark.
So
and-
even later, when his daughter is like, come on, he's a cheat and he's against you, he's like, not him.
yeah. So I think
I love him.
Even though there are rules, that at least kind of sets the expectation that whatever rules there may have been no longer apply.
Right.
And yay, that's what we get.
Yeah.
No penalties, minimal substitutions.
Nice. Right back to rollerball. Nice. Mm-hmm. Well, they get to the ropes eventually.
Yeah.
This is my favorite part.
They shoot one guy down.
Yeah.
And then they burn the other rope. So remember, my theory was they're not supposed to, like, tamper with, like, you being able to get there. I would think this is a violation of the rules.
Well, didn't Samir do this?
Yes.
He
The
did do
old,
it.
the old
Yes.
fire rope?
Yeah.
He don't give a fuck.
Yeah, and so he gets to the top and he talks to a referee. He's like, they broke the rules, kill him. And the guy just stands there like a referee.
Right.
And he's like, damn it. And he runs off. And then my favorite part about the cliff is that at the bottom of the cliff, everyone's on horseback. At the top of the cliff, still on horseback. So I don't know how this country trained their horses to climb all these ropes, but they did an amazing job.
I got a problem with the burning the rope. So Jonathan's going up. They burn the rope. Get ready for that in Home Alone 2 one day, Collin, just one day. So yeah, Jonathan's going up the rope, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta get there." There is another rope 1 foot to his right. Like, just get on the other rope. That's not on fire, dude.
That's
like
cheating. That's rope. That
Well, and he doesn't really need to get on the other rope because he
That's when
makes
the
it
ninja
up to
shoots
the
you.
top in plenty of time.
now the ninja has the right to shoot you. Like, whoa, rope switching. Yeah, you should have read the manual.
That's a shooting.
Yeah. So now everyone's at the rope bridge.
I don't have any notes about this.
Well, there's a guy.
No,
There's a guy in a blue tracksuit, and the ninja kills them.
Right.
And then Jonathan goes across, and Zamir cuts the rope.
Dick.
But then Jonathan climbs that rope.
Right.
Yeah, it just repels up.
Yeah, and goes up.
He was near the end anyway.
Well, there was a ninja there, like just waiting for him, and Jonathan kicks him off a cliff, and
He Gymkatas him off a cliff.
There are like 3 people that fall in the exact same spot.
Yeah, that's the
in
worst
the
spot.
exact same spot.
That's like a video game. Like, we've all played that video game. We're like, level 3, like section 4 at the end. Like, the rope climb.
Ocean needs to put like a railing there or something.
This is Mike's Ninja Turtles for the Nintendo. The underwater
with the mines.
disarming
Fuck that.
the bombs. Yeah,
That was the worst.
yeah. That's when he became a man, Mike.
Angry man.
There's one guy who seems to be doing well. He's running all up and down the course, but Thorg pops up and choke kills him, and that dude's dead. And I think there's only 2 people left. It's outside of Thorg, that is. I think there's like one person, Jonathan and Thorg. Am I wrong?
No, there's
later we see Gomez.
Gomez is still left. I don't know what happened to Gomez.
No one does.
He's just like took off.
Well, that's what I'm
he's
saying.
out there.
I forgot his name was Gomez. It's Gomez, Jonathan, and Thorg right now.
Is Thorg
Yes.
a contestant or one of the hunters?
He's a
He's a
contestant.
contestant.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he's a contestant.
He was just a late arrival. He got
Okay.
But he's like ultra famous. He's Thorg.
I would have
Yeah.
put my money on him, yeah.
for sure.
Yeah,
He's
he's-
a beast.
He's Thor.
I don't know if I would have because of all of the climbing and stuff. You know, because he's the
I know,
bulkiest, but
yeah.
he has
Yeah,
to
that's
climb
true.
and hold himself so much that
yeah.
And he
This is the
needs to
course for
work.
him.
Get those leg days in.
Yeah, don't
Thorg.
skip
Yeah.
leg day.
God damn.
That's important.
he is a triangle.
Yeah.
Well, Jonathan and Thorg get into it a little bit, and a bunch of ninjas shoot a lot of arrows into Thorg, and Jonathan runs far, far away.
Yeah.
And he gets to part 4, which is listed as the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah.
This is where I noted on IMDb, it highlighted that they gave them food and alcohol, and these were real people from a real asylum in this country. And this is like a nightmare scene. All these people are like wailing and yelling.
One guy cuts his own hand off.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah, I just cannot get over the fact that they actually hired insane people. Like, and not like, is that even legal? Can those people sign contracts?
Dude,
In another
they're
country.
from Yugoslavia.
It's filmed in Yugoslavia, but I'm not exactly sure what kind of laws are applying here.
Yeah, like, I mean, the town is empty at first, and then it's filled with like all these people moaning and saying these crazy things.
Well, there's like
Spike traps are coming down. That could just be real.
yeah, there's
This-
that guy like with the backwards face
Oh my god, that was so
and the assless robe kind of thing.
This whole thing was awesome, I thought.
Yeah, so this was, it turned into like a horror movie for
Yeah.
like 15 minutes.
Gomez is staked to a wall, so he's dead.
There's okay. That's
Yeah,
right,
it's
the
so
Gomez.
odd, man.
Well,
Like the whole tone of this movie shifted
So,
in
well-
this town.
Well, there's also one continuity issue that's a problem too. So, you would assume that Gomez probably got in first, but when Jonathan gets in, there's a gate to get in, but once he walks in, the gate shuts. It's like an iron gate. It's like Welcome to Castlevania. You would assume that was not rigged up again. I say this because so what I'm saying is Gomez would have already triggered that. The gate would have been closed, but. All right, so then I guess they open the gate and they reset that. Jonathan walks in, but a third time, Thorg's back. So
I think they killed Gomez earlier and brought him in just for dramatic effect.
okay,
Or they killed Gomez in there, and like you said, Paul, maybe a reset.
Yeah.
every time.
Well, I mean, one way or another, it had to have reset because Thorg is back in the mix. He's still alive. You cannot kill that guy. And that's why I wrote, like, did the gate open again? Like, what's going on?
So
Also, Zamir has a whole army of ninjas that work for him, and the lunatics in this town are by far the best warriors of anybody in this movie.
they've got nothing to lose. They don't have weird arbitrary rules they have to follow.
Yeah, and none of the ninjas want to go in this crazy town.
No,
they're a bunch of Quimbies.
Oh, they are a bunch of Quimbies.
There's also like a half nude robed man
Yeah.
walking around, and then there's a guy beckoning to the door, and then Joanathan takes down a two-faced man. It's very bizarre.
So this whole scene was kind of trippy, and I liked it. Up until like the weird slow-mo drug trip portion.
Dear sweet Jesus.
I didn't.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I didn't
what did
care
that?
for
Where
that.
did that come from?
I don't know.
Why.
I don't know.
That
I mean, it would have been better if they like darted him, and then that would have explained why the whole thing is happening the way that it did. But yeah, it just like all of a sudden you're like, what the fuck, dude?
It was weird.
You eventually get to an area where there's all these pigs like corralled in like a room. Joanathan hops across them. Thorg is trying to get him. Thorg is like a programmed robot from the future. Like this guy, I don't know how he's moving like this. Like he took some arrows, but Thorg is pitchforked to death by the crazy townspeople. It is a horrific death.
Yeah.
he couldn't navigate the field of pigs. He slipped on one
Yeah,
and
he's-
fell down, and some of the insane people got him with the pitchforks.
Yeah, Joanathan goes out the door and he's running and he basically parkours his way up a wall. And all these people are crowding him below. It doesn't look like there's really a way out. He's trying to get this gate open. He's trying to get on a roof. All of a sudden a ninja walks over, helps him up. Whoops. Well, I shouldn't really say whoops, but twist. Twist. It's Jonathan's dad. He's alive.
Yeah. He is alive.
Dressed like a ninja.
I thought it was going to be the guy, like the
government guy?
intelligence.
Yeah.
I also
like he came like in the salt mine. He came out like out of nowhere and saved the day. I thought it was going to be this guy. And
Jeremy,
if that was the case, I would have fucking just turned the movie off. And been like, I'm not doing this.
Well, you weren't going to give me the last 5 minutes of the movie. You're already an hour in.
I also thought it was going to be that government guy. Like, hello, Joanathan. I knew you might need a hand.
Weird, pleasant surprise, him being his dad.
Yeah. But it was nice. It was a nice little reunion. One of Dad's arms doesn't work.
Yeah, he's like, they really jammed up my arm.
Jonathan, my arm.
But they got in this ninja garb, and God knows what he's been doing, just living in that town for a bit.
What the fuck has he been doing?
He's been hanging out.
Yeah.
How long has it been since?
How long has it
Yeah,
been?
that's
He was
true.
probably at that
Don't
bankward.
know.
3 days.
Maybe.
How often do
His
they
dad
have the
was one of the
game?
waiters at the banquet.
I've been here the whole time, Joanathan.
It's a
I've
daily
always been
event.
with you.
Is it annual, daily, monthly, quarterly? How often do they do
hourly
this?
events?
It's the quarter quell.
Is
No,
this
before I wanted to mention before he found his dad, there was a scene where still the battle scene, but he gets into the scene where there's a lone pommel horse.
In the middle of town.
In the field.
Oh, God, yeah.
There's a 3-minute long battle scene with him just on the pommel horse.
Oh, yeah.
down these
Beating up
scenes
a
right
bunch
before
of
he meets his
crazy
dad.
people. Yeah.
I wanted to mention that.
why they didn't just wait for him to finish on the pommel horse before they went over
it's
there?
one by one. You know the rules of this.
And like, they all had pitchforks and stuff, so they could have just stabbed him.
Yeah.
They chose not to.
Yeah.
My wife was watching that scene with me, and she's like, "Why don't they all just attack him?" I'm like, "Amy, hush your mouth.
You just,
Hush
you
your
just don't get it,
fucking
Scott.
Well,
One by one.
we get a transition back to the palace, and the princess is telling her dad, like, dude, Zamir is no good. Like, you're a prisoner in your own palace. We've got to get out of here. Dad is a super wimp, but the princess is like, you know what? I'm just gonna leave, and I'm gonna go help Joanathan. And he's like, it's just not how it's done.
He's like, no, old man.
That's a pretty accurate representation.
They do.
She's chewing him out. He's being a pussy about everything.
He is being a
Oh,
pussy.
he
And
is
she just
such a
gets up and
fucking
is like, you know
pussy.
what? I'm gonna help him.
It's
And he
very,
gets up and leaves.
it's very Aladdin. This is very like Jasmine in the Sultan.
That's a good.
Oh,
yes,
sure, yeah.
exactly, Paul. That's good.
I did it.
I think all the movies created after 1985 were taken from parts of this movie.
Yeah.
Here's a fun thing. Now we're back with in the Gymkata times, and Zamir's there, and him and his men immediately shoot Dad in the back with like a 4-foot arrow.
Right.
Like Dad's been doing God knows what for months, a year. Like there's a lot of speculation. I really don't know. Like maybe there's like a time frame of Gymkata. Like it's ongoing. It's the season of Gymkata.
It's season 2 of Gymkata.
He doesn't last long.
Yeah.
Win, Johnny.
Do it for me, Johnny. Win. Get the gold. Make a government wish. This is all for the government, Jonathan.
This is all for Star Wars, Johnny.
This is what I wanted. A satellite. My life and my everything for this satellite. Jonathan just runs. He's really good at running. He gets on a horse and just books it.
So he does, and there's a bit of a horse chase. They blew the budget. They couldn't afford anything for the horses to jump over. So there's a scene. Did you pick up on this?
A small gap.
Yeah, there was like a small gap in the grass that was meant to be a cliff because one of the horses makes it over, but all the subsequent horses are like, "Whoa, we can't make it over this."
I think you can hear Zamir. You can say, "Jump, you fool!"
Yeah,
I was like, you fucking idiot.
It's funny
It was like a drainage ditch.
yeah, like a small culvert.
It's funny you say that because during the horse chase and in the soon dismounting scene, there is some weird overdubbing voices, and I noted that there's overdub voices like "you bastards,"
Yeah.
just like randomly. Like can you imagine like Zamir? We need you back in the studio. All right, what did you do? Dismounted from a horse. What would you say when you dismounted from a horse? You bastards! Got it.
I
One
think
take.
the "you bastards" is more for like the jackals that couldn't make the jump. So he's like, I thought you guys all had my back. We were all on the same team.
I thought you guys were cool.
Yeah, I thought you were cool. And they were not cool.
No.
And so he gets his ass whooped.
He does.
Well, Zamir just beats the holy crap out of Jonathan out of the gate.
Yeah.
But then Jonathan remembers he's got the Gymkata. And he defeats Zamir pretty quickly. This scene is not epically done. And
it's very brief.
Wow.
Like it's basically 40 seconds of Jonathan getting his ass kicked. Then he's like, wait a minute, I'm good at gymnastics, and there's trees all around, and those are like parallel bars. And then he swings around and then snaps the neck between his legs.
He gives him the Xenia on a top.
He does give him the Xenia on a top.
Oh man.
And then we get a hard cut again to the princess and dad battling ninjas in the palace.
Yeah, he's rallied all of his followers.
Yeah, he's like, whoa, Zamir's bad. Did everyone know that? Everyone's like,
it's like,
yeah.
Duh, guy.
I mean, no. That guy wasn't stealing my figs every day. So
like the banquets were sweet, but the hunting men for sport kind of sucked.
Collin, I just wanted to mention to you that the scene where the princess and her dad's fighting their way out of the downstairs through their insurgent guards. She pulls out the extendo box cutter in this scene and shoots.
She
one.
does?
She does have it? Okay.
Yeah, I just remembered.
She's also dressed.
So now you gotta go back and watch it.
I warned you from the beginning, Collin. You're going to find new things every time, and now you're just destined to watch Gymkata.
But just that once.
Just Chekhov's box cutter.
Well, all the guards sees Zamir's men. Traitors! And, Dad is just happy that everyone's like captured. Or Dad, i.e. the Khan. And then they're like, oh, there are people coming. And everyone sees that it's Joanathan. And his dad is actually alive. You know what? What would be probably helpful? Cutting, not maybe out because you're a medic, but cutting the 4-foot arrow from his back. Like maybe shorten it to a couple inches.
It's better to leave it in.
Sure, I'm sure that horseback ride was smooth as could be, and like with each little stomp, I'm sure all that organ meat was feeling the impact of that arrow.
So I totally missed that. I did not realize that his dad is still alive at the end.
I didn't either, Jeremy.
Wow. No,
Yeah, he's on the back of the horse.
Now we all have to watch Gymkata again.
What the fuck?
Wow.
And you would think that the princess is going to get together. You would think that the dad would have an epic speech. You think that Yakov Smirnov, the Khan, would be like, my boy, inherit my land, take my daughter's heart and hand in marriage, do all these things. You would be wrong, friends. You get a hard cut that in. 1985, the first early warning Earth satellite station was placed in Parmistan for the U.S. Star Wars defense program. Then there's a freeze frame. The end. This movie is over.
That's it,
Star
folks.
Wars.
Gymkata. You have no
Yeah,
idea
that's it.
how the budding romance fared. You don't know why Jonathan's final wish really was for the government. Like, my dad almost died. My life's kind of in shambles. I really could use a satellite dish.
In all honesty, they probably screened this movie to some like audience people, and they're like, "We don't give a fuck about this movie," so they just put those words at the end to like wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, before we get to our final views on Gymkata, feel free to reach out to us. This December, it's not just a holiday season; it's a time to give back. Cash money. So visit our merch shop and see some of our Black Friday and beyond sales. And we've got some shirts, and we've noted shower curtains and even skateboards. But if you're not interested in our merch, go to rabbittroopsucks.com. That does lead you to merch, and it leads us to some of the episodes. It leads you to some of the episodes and pictures and various other things. Or hit us up via email directly, rabbittroopsuckspodcast@gmail.com. If there's a movie you'd like to listen to us rant about, like Gymkata, then let us start your heart. I was going to say something more witty, or drop kick you into the heart. And maybe we'll take one of those requests. We've said we'd give out some shots, shot glasses, various other things. So yeah, hit us up there, Instagram, Facebook. But yeah, what did everyone think about this train wreck of a movie? I know I picked it, but I think people should watch this movie. This movie is insane. This movie is a B-side, fun piece of crap. This movie's not good. I have no pretense about it, but this movie is alluring in so many weird ways. Like, where did the Hawkeye go? Why? I want to know so much more about the Hawkeye. Why was Gymkata only like 20 minutes? But why is it always going on? What is happening? Where was Jonathan's father? What was the government agent's guy's name? Who knows? Gymkata.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
This is one of those movies that is way more fun to talk about and to have seen than to watch it. There's no reason. Like, watching it was excruciating, except for the crazy town, which was, I thought, super fun.
The crazy town is legitimately a good scene in this movie. I totally agree with that.
It's almost as if it were directed by somebody else.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe the director handed off the work for it.
He's like, I'm gonna coke-induced coma. Somebody else take the reins on this one, guys.
Hey, Jonathan, I got this like Portacam. I'm gonna take a little break. These people are actually crazy. We got them really fueled up on liquor. This might not be good for me. Hopefully, real Gymkata.
And he did.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you guys all think? Outside of Collin and myself.
Yeah, whatever. This movie's a whatever for me. I just wanted to mention that the director also did Game of Death, so he's well ingrained in Bruce Lee movies. I don't know, he went from
Would this have been
Into
better?
the Dragon, Game of Death to Gymkata over a period of 10 years.
Would this have been better with Bruce Lee?
Yes. I think it would have helped.
I feel like Bruce Lee would have read the script and be like, "What?"
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say yes, but does he have to be a gymnast?
Yeah, I can't picture him in this film.
Can it just be like a Bruce Lee movie of like he goes to this other country and he's entered in this game? Because if that was it, that'd be cool.
Would this movie have been better with Mary Kay Ordnow as the lead instead of Jonathan? Does anybody know who that is?
No, I was about to
God
ask.
damn it!
We're gonna
She's
have to
like,
cut all this.
she's an American. She's a gymnast also, but
Oh, so
she's
you
a
want
gold medalist.
you want like a Mary Lou Retton kind of figure?
Yeah,
in here.
Mary Lou Retton. That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
That's what I was saying.
Oh, Mary Lou Retton
Yeah,
from Scrooge.
yeah. She drops the crutches.
Instead of fucking whatever this guy's name is, have Mary Lou Retton
Yeah.
in there.
He's a convincing Gymkata
100%
artist.
better.
I don't know what Gymkata was before this movie, but I'll just say that it's not terrible. You can watch it if you want, I guess.
Gymkata
if you want, or don't. Lamar doesn't give a fuck.
Lamar, let me ask you a question. Are there moments you honestly were not laughing out loud by watching this movie?
I laughed out loud twice. The first time I watched it, I was laughing out loud with you because it was comical. The second time around, that's just more reason why you shouldn't really watch this movie more times than once.
That's a brutal warning to Collin, who is now cursed to watch this movie yet again.
Dude, this movie would have been awesome to do like a riff track to. Like I highly recommend doing this
highly
with a couple
recommend.
friends and doing like a riff to it.
I highly shout out the Riff Tracks, Mike Nelson and his company. They do good work. They did this movie in 2019 or 2020, I believe.
Shit, really?
And Mystery Science Theater 3000, his predecessor, they have obviously referenced it numerous times throughout their 20-year history. So it's well ingrained in that regard as being a movie that's riffable.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with this movie. Like, we've commented before, like, some movies are fun to watch. Some movies you need to watch with your buds. Like, this is a movie, if you've got some drinks and you've got a few people together, like-minded people who like ridiculous things, you're going to have fun with this. Like, this is not a good movie in any measurable way, but, like, it's so fucking bananas. And if you're with people and you can kind of clown on it, it makes it way more fun. Yeah, watching this movie by yourself is...
It's rough.
It's less entertaining, for sure. But, I mean, there are still, like, the Crazy People Town, I thought was fun. Like, every time
I'm glad everyone kind of agrees on that.
Yes. Every time he's doing Gymkata shit, I'm like, fuck yeah, this is so fucking stupid, but I like it.
Yeah, the problem is there's not enough Gymkata.
Yeah.
There should have been more Gymkata.
Every time
There should have been more
over and
Gymkata.
into it.
The ninjas were not ninjas at all. They're just
They're just bitches.
fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No joke, the ninjas kind of aggravate me.
Were they more non-just?
They were not.
You son of a...
Okay, I'll see myself.
The fact that there's no real rules kind of pissed me off with those ninjas. Not Zamir and his like close men, but like the ninjas that were stationed around. It was so confusing. But yeah, I overall agree that you should totally watch this movie with people.
Yeah.
So you're saying you all wanted a sequel to Gymkata?
Of course.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually film a sequel to Gymkata using my iPhone and my two sons. I think we could make a better movie.
Is that just going to be you like on a pommel horse slapping him around?
Kicking your kids.
Yeah.
Feeding them with turkey legs from
That's the movie I
Thanksgiving
would
dinner.
watch, yeah.
Yeah, I'd watch that.
Missed out on so much Gymkata stuff. They had the bar and the pommel horse. They didn't have the like the rings.
Yeah,
or
there were no rings.
like the parallel
Nothing
bars.
that he trained in was ever used during the game.
No,
that's
there was one thing from the Eastern trainer where they were getting shot with the bow and arrow, and he dodged the bow and arrow and it hit Thorg.
Oh, yeah.
That was an Eastern trainer thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
that,
Nice.
It was like the blind fighting. Close your eyes and listen to the sound of the arrow breaking the wind.
Forgot about that.
Every time Collin talks about these keen observations, I'm like, damn, dude. He's one step away from loading this movie up again.
God.
Collin's going to watch Gymkata again tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, Colin's teaching classes on Gymkata.
Collin's going to go home, load up Gymkata, and have some chicken piccata. So sit there. It's going to be a whole to-do about the whole thing.
I can. I'll watch it later with my wife, and then I'll have an entire future to watch Gymkata because she will leave me immediately.
Yeah. That checks out.
What if that became... Collin, what if this became her favorite film ever? Like, just hypothetically. You come home, you're like, I got to watch this movie.
Then
and her first action is to be like, this is the best thing you've ever showed me.
Then I could still watch Gymkata forever because I will leave her immediately.
Wow. Wow, that is how unsettling Gymkata is in the room.
Yeah.
You know, next time around, we're going to have a real fantastic treat for you. We're going to come at you with the Ginger Dead Man from 2005. It is a listener request.
It is a movie
that we're going to talk
exists.
about.
It's a movie.
Yeah. We're going to talk about the Ginger Dead Man and the start of a franchise. And you know this director if you've listened to our podcast because he is the director of Trancers. And boy, howdy, did he go on a journey to get to the Ginger Dead Man. Mm-hmm. But we'll save that for you, and that's going to get us into kind of the back end of December holidays, opening up with the Ginger Dead Man. Check out our holiday T-shirts for the love of Ginger Dead Man or Gingy. But anything else you guys want to say about Gymkata? Your love of it?
I feel like I've expressed myself enough.
Yeah.
Well,
If I ever invent like a stylish like street drug that I don't know what it does, but I'm gonna name it Gymkata.
Well,
Okay.
I think the most appropriate way to go out is quoting a beautiful song by Erica Goldberg, who led me to this movie in a way, by Barry Goldberg. And I just want to note, Love Ninja, a love ninja. Love Ninja, snap the neck in my heart. She's a love ninja to break my heart apart. And that's all. That's Gymkata, baby. That's Gymkata.
God help us.
As always, Rabbit Troop sucks.
Rabbit Troop sucks.